American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
I'm Rob Archer. A trial date has been set for the man accused of abducting a 10-year-old Taft girl after meeting her through the online game Roblox. Matthew Naval is scheduled to go on trial in October. He's charged with kidnapping a child to commit lewd acts and 2 counts involving lewd acts with a minor. Authorities say the girl disappeared from Taft in April of last year, was found with Naval the next day in Sacramento County. He told 17 News in a jailhouse interview that he believed the girl was 18. Court documents say he admitted kissing her and trying to get a hotel room in Fresno. Bakersfield police are asking the public for more evidence in the Independence High School shooting. They say they want photos, videos, or audio recorded before, during, or after the shooting that killed 17-year-old Levi Jermaine Carter Brown. The 15-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree murder. Police say the case is gang-related. Bakersfield will soon own the former Bank of America building downtown. The city council has approved the financing needed to complete the purchase. The 10-story Truxton Tower will provide office space for Bakersfield police and other tenants. The city says buying the building should save money over continuing to lease BPD office space elsewhere. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central California is expanding into Kern County. The group pairs adult volunteers with young people for one-on-one mentoring. It says it is now recruiting both volunteers and local business partners. The organization already operates in Fresno, Kings, Madera, and Tulare counties. Traffic is back to normal on the southbound 99 in Delano. A semi crash shut down part of the freeway this morning, but all lanes have since reopened. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest, well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing for those streaming on YouTube. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Chris Burdick is producing the show on this 27th day of August. We got a busy show. We've got some guests today, as we did not have yesterday. It's a Thursday. So the current tax executive director, Mike Turnipseed, will join us at 4 o'clock, and then we'll talk money. The Canadian tariff war is continuing, and that's part of my rant. I think I'm going to have to evoke the words of Kevin McCarthy. I'll get into that and explain in just a second. We will talk about the Clancy case, of course. The jury was sent home. They were deliberating, but they have been sent home for the day. They continue to deliberate. You will hear some audio from both the defense and the prosecution in their closing arguments. And I'll explain why I'm going to get into the 25th Amendment, which is the removal of the president, because I think he's lost his mind. I think he's absolutely lost his mind. We are in an affordability crisis. We are in the midst of a war. And your president wants to raise the Kennedy Center because a judge told him this was for a slain president. This wasn't for any other president in the history of this country. And can't y'all be reasonable? The most ardent Trump supporters, can't you be reasonable? You can't even admit that it's beyond narcissism for a man to want to put his name on a building that was dedicated to a president who was shot from the front in the head. Isn't that beyond narcissism? When he's like, screw Kennedy. What did he do? Cuban Missile Crisis, brought in vigor and youth to the presidency, brought in a whole new world, new Camelot, gave us Jackie, blah, 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 gave us John Jr., and all he did was die. What do I care? I want my name above his. And now, as most of you know, it's no longer Lake Ontario. It's now Lake America. And the guy doesn't even have any kind of like imagination. Gulf of America, Lake America. What's next, Donald? What's next? He is losing his mind. Did I mention we're in an affordability crisis? Did I mention we're in a war with Iran? And now, they want to try to economically stifle Iran. Again, even to the most ardent Trump supporters. Wouldn't it have been reasonable to, I don't know, maybe start with the economic sanctions? And here's why the economic sanctions are stupid. It's not as if he went to country Chris Burdick and the country of J.R. Flores and the country of Randizzle and said, hey, fellas, why don't we isolate these guys? No, we just made an announcement and we expect all these people to jump on board. And they're not. They're not. And then there's the ballroom, the arch. He doesn't give a damn about the midterms. He was right. You know, it's Maya Angelou who told you, when somebody tells you what they're going to do or who they are, believe them. And he told you weeks ago, I don't give a damn about the midterms. And he doesn't. Because what was going to be a bloodbath turned into a pretty competitive race with the entrance of Democratic Socialists. And now, with your cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs president, and people just saying, can't he just concentrate on us? The Kennedy Center, the ballroom, the helipad at the White House, the Grand Prix around Washington, D.C. If this guy did more, as much for the people as he's doing for himself, this country will be in the high cotton. I'll delve into that later. And just as I did it again this morning on the golf course, Tanner Scott did it again last night. Good googly moogly. I mean, we just had two horrendous defeats to the Braves, who are in the number 3 spot. But I mean, for Tanner Scott to come in and blow it, and then in the 7th and the 8th innings, we have bases loaded. And the worst part is in the 8th inning, when Max Muncy came up, did you see the ball game last night?
No, I missed it.
Max Muncy comes up and has one of the great at-bats that some guys have. You know, when a guy has a bat, is 3-2, and he's just fouling off pitches, fouling off pitches. Most of those times, the batter wins because the pitcher either just can't keep throwing strikes because it's 3-3. It's not like he can just throw it right down the middle, even in a close game, even at 3-2 with the bases loaded. And he finally misses outside. And what does Max do? 3-2. He goes lurching out at a pitch that would have hit a right-handed batter that scores the go-ahead run. And instead, they strike him out. And now the Braves, 3-2, bases loaded. They go off all hyped, and then they score a run in the 9th and win it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We have a glaring hole that I don't know how we're going to fix. Because remember, I said, let's just go with Tanner Scott. And he's blown 2 saves in as many games. And you can't really go with Sasaki because now he's emerging as one of the better starters. He had a good night last night. They betrayed him, but he had a good night pitching baseball. I think, who I think is going to be ending up being our closer.
Shohei.
Damn right.
I was calling for this like
Damn
a
right.
year ago.
Damn right. It's the best way to go.
It is.
Short time, not a lot of innings. Comes in, gets 3 outs. We win the ball game. We go home. And
He's the best pitcher you have on the rotation. Why not put him in the hole?
And because they want him to start.
True,
but this way he only throws 14 or 15 pitches.
Yeah.
You know,
Preserve
you don't
the
need him
arm.
every night. You know, I don't.
And
get it.
imagine that. Imagine Shohei comes up in the 9th, cracks a home run to give you guys the lead, and then shuts the door in the next inning. How legendary is that? Who could say they did that?
So then, who's the kid from the Mets?
The Mets.
Peter, the other MVP candidate. Is it Mets?
I don't know. Cubbies.
Cubs. What's that
Crow
kid's name?
Armstrong.
All right. So who's the MVP?
Okay.
Because they're not. Their batting numbers are the same, and my guy's 8-2 with the ERA in the ones.
Hold on.
Just saying.
This is the same argument we had last year with Kyle Schwarber and Shohei Ohtani. I have to remain consistent, and I argue that the MVP should not include the pitching numbers, but it is all in fairness.
How can it not?
No, I know. You're right. How can it not? But
because if he was, and I don't think he is, but if this kid was a Gold Glove defensive player, wouldn't that
might be? He's really
I think
good.
he might have been, actually. I was thinking that just when I said that. But if he was this season, you'd have to throw that in the equation.
True, but again, that's
280, 30 home runs, and he's got a Gold Glove. That's
okay, but how does that equate? How does fielding and pitching kind of even themselves out in that area?
See, I don't think it does.
I don't think that's what I'm saying.
Out. I think the pitching, if you're 8-2 with a 1.57 ERA, I think the pitching, even in that limited time, gets the Golden Glove. I just don't see them giving it to him again. Could they really give it to him again?
Honestly,
what would this be now? Like 3 in a row?
Yeah, and
plus the 2 he had in the AL.
At some point, you got to get fatigue on it too.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to sit there and give the other guys a shot.
You would think, and I'm a Shohei freak, but I wouldn't mind seeing. Big Dog checking in. He's got some info. Our Dodger expert chiming in, Mike Big Dog Parent out in Taft. Let's see what he's talking about. The Los Angeles Dodgers officially placed trainer, starting pitcher Roki Sasaki on the 15-day injured list.
Oh, great.
What? August 27th, due to a severe blister. Oh, that's right. He left the game last night with a blister. I knew he left
blister.
the game.
That's fine.
But that's not an IL.
Oh, you have a 15 days
for a blister? Dude, Sandy would pop that thing, put a Band-Aid on, and throw more curveballs. What's the matter with Joe? A blister?
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, though, if it's the players or if it's the training staff that's really gotten soft.
Or management.
Yeah, and management.
We're about to go into the playoffs. Don't screw around and have this thing linger. No, it's a good, smart play.
Yeah.
Again, I've said that. I said that in April. We are a September, October ball club. We still in August. So I agree. Give him 2 weeks off. Let him get 100%. There's other good news. Did you see what Will Smith did down in Oklahoma City last night? He not only threw out a runner, but hit a 2-run bomb. So we're going to get him back. I think September 1st is when Will comes back. So that's some good news for the Dodger Ball Club. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get started. When we come back, we will talk about this arch criminal that has absolutely turned high school football upside down. There are new rules and regulations, none of which I believe could stop someone who, if they wanted to kill another student at a football game, but nevertheless, and wait till you get a load of Gabriel Torres Reyes. Well, you know, not so much get a load of Gabriel Torres Reyes, but wait till you get a load of how ridiculous our judicial system is, our law enforcement system is, where we've created a revolving door for these criminals, and it's not the cops, they catch them. And I can't imagine being a cop. Hey, look, Harry, it's Gabrielle again. It's Gabrielle again. What'd he do now? Well, he cut up his mama the first time. This time, I believe it's his father, stepdad. We got to arrest him, and then, you know, Cynthia Zimmer's going to kick him. Wait till you get a load of this. We'll break that down for you when we come back. And then we'll give you the latest on the Clancy trial, its in jury deliberations, then Mr. Turnipseed and Mr. Petrey in the 4 o'clock hour. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio News
Messmaker.
AM 1230 KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Studies report 77.6% of croplands area experience a positive greenness anomaly in 2025. For a world continually told that it is teetering on the edge of ecological catastrophe, a record green planet seems to be something worth mentioning. Plants apparently missed the memo that carbon dioxide is supposed to be an environmental villain.
Weekdays 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Stay tuned for the 4 o'clock hour when our money man, Daniel Petrey from Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors, joins us at 4:30. We will talk about the Canadian tariff war. We'll talk about the $40 trillion deficit and whether that's expanded. Obviously, it has. But again, you know what Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. And again, if you're over 50, that you may think that's too early to start thinking about retirement. It's never too early to think about retirement. Call Daniel today at 661-395-9400, 395-9400. Like I've talked about, I've turned several colleagues here on to Daniel, and as I always tell you, they could not be happier with the work that Mr. Petrey's done for them. So you call him as well, 395-9400. Just check him out today when he joins us at 4:30 right here on the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrey or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrey Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries in Kern County. Are you looking for a doctor who truly listens, someone who cares about your health and respects your time with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations? Well, it may be time to learn about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA partners with most Medicare Advantage health plans, giving you access to a large community-based network of outstanding physicians and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Local doctors, trusted hospitals, personalized care. Medicare Advantage plans offer benefits beyond original Medicare, but understanding your options for 2026 can feel overwhelming. That's where we can help. Call 661-554-4544 today to learn more about your Medicare Advantage choices. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help you understand your coverage options and make confident decisions about your care. Again, that's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Help me, my mom. Help me, Lord. I'll take you there. So Big Dog sent me some stats trying to calm my nerves that our record this year is better than our 2 championship years. That's only because the National League West sucks. That's the only reason our record is a couple of games better, because San Francisco sucks, San Diego sucks, Colorado is okay. The Diamondbacks are okay, but nobody's pushing us. And, we played good baseball. We've been beating up on the teams. But, Mike, if you want to look at a statistic, go look at a statistic of us against 500 or better teams. Teams that are 500 or better, go look at our record. I think it's like 30-31, which troubles me. And the other issue, I don't think we had the holes that we did in those 2 seasons. We were pretty damn healthy, and I think we had better outfielders. Teo Hernandez this is his last year with the Dodgers. Write that down, and when he gets released next year, you'll think of me because he's got one more year. It's never going to happen because I don't know whether it was last night. I think it was last night or the night before where he overran a ball that a high schooler could catch, literally. It was in the corner, in the left field corner. If a ball hits the field, you've got bad outfielders, unless it's in the gap. And Kyle Tucker did the same thing. Where it looked like it was just a double, but it bounced on the warning track. Let me ask you a question for my old folks. You ever see Ken Griffey Jr. field a ball that bounced off the warning track? No, you mostly saw Ken Griffey Jr. bringing balls back from out of the stadium back into the stadium. There are 2 things. I played safety, and I'm not trying to use my high school experience at a small, tiny school playing 8-man football and 3-man basketball and 6-man baseball. The basketball and baseball was a joke. But I played safety, and for a short period, I played center field. And do you know what my approach was every single game in football as a safety and as a center fielder in baseball? I don't care what happens. But ain't nobody on this field getting behind me as a safety. Nobody. Ref, move up, because you ain't getting behind me either. Nobody gets behind me. And as a center field, the ball will not bounce in the field of play behind me. That ain't happening. If the ball's over my head, it's going to be in the seats. And you got Kyle Tucker and Teo Hernandez fielding balls over their heads because they take bad angles and they're horrendous outfielders for $60 million a year. Good God almighty. I swear to God, at 30, I could have been a better right fielder than Kyle Tucker. Not at 64. I could be better than Teo at 64, but not Tucker. But at 30, I was a better outfielder than Kyle Tucker. It's embarrassing. And, of course, he struck out again with runners on second and third. I don't know what the hell we're going to do about that because we're on the hook for another $180 million. What's he signed for? 4 for $240? I think that's what it is, 4 for $240. Just a waste of space. Absolute waste of space. I'm just hoping that our pitching, 60 for 240, 4 for 240. I'm just hoping that our pitching gets us through the playoffs. That's our only hope. That Yoshinobu, Blake Snell looks really good. Tyler Glasnow looked good the other night. Maybe Shohei coming out of the pen because Diaz and Tanner aren't going to get it done. God dang it. I wanted to get into this kid. I'll do this at the bottom of the hour. Any text messages this early into the broadcast? Eat up our last 3 minutes?
Yes.
What do you got?
I got a couple here for you.
What do you got?
Let's see. So, Ralph, seems like you're opening your eyes. You're waking up. You're smelling the coffee from across the room. Now with President Trump going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Do you really think this Iran war, I believe is what they meant, has anything to do with a nuclear weapon? Do you really think Donald Trump and everything he says of America first, do you really think he holds water? Or that holds water?
Well, I'm not opening my eyes. He's done recent things that's caused me to question his, I want to say sanity, but I'll say priorities. But, when you threaten to bomb Oman, when you get into this ridiculous tariff war with Canada, those border states, Washington, Minnesota, they're dying. They're losing. I saw a piece the other night where these companies that do business with these border states losing 20, 25% of their business. Vegas was devastated by this Canadian war because they get about 20-25% of their business from Canadians. Imagine to go to a different country in Vegas. It's just a couple of hours away. It's just crazy. Just everything of late that he's doing. And what was the other thing that he said he's going to do? Oh, Lake Ontario. I mentioned that, which is just totally screws me up because that's the only way I know the, you know how to remember the Great Lakes, don't you? It's Holmes. This is how I studied as a kid. I would create acronyms.
Oh, the
to help me.
acronym. Oh, okay.
Yes, Holmes. Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. That's how I learned the lakes. Now he's got me all screwed up. Hams? I mean, Department of War instead of Defense. It's just, these are the things that you guys are worried about. I don't understand it. And it's killing congressional candidates in the Republican Party all over the country. Because everybody wants to talk about affordability. And, it's to the point where I don't think people are going to want Donald Trump to come campaign for him. One more, and let's get into the bottom of the hour. We'll talk about Gabriel.
Ralph, you remind me of high school friends I had many moons ago. People like you can really frustrate mature viewers out here. I am like a miner listening to a piles of your dirt, looking for little nuggets of worthwhile comments.
I don't understand any of that. If you have to pile through my nonsense to find nuggets, change the channel. Don't listen. Ignore me. I'm not that important. But you seem to have some kind of issue where I don't even understand what you just said, A. And B, I don't understand how you write in to complain about a show. Don't listen. It's that simple. We'll talk about this arch criminal gang member when we come back.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he's renaming Lake Ontario to be known as Lake America in the United States as he escalates his trade war with Canada. The president signed an executive order in the Oval Office on Thursday that updated the lake's name for the U.S. Geographic Naming Service. Trump cannot force Canada to follow his preferred naming convention, however. 3 staff members from the Stars and Stripes military news outlet are suing to challenge the recent firings by the Pentagon, accusing the Trump administration of violating their First Amendment free speech rights to speak out against government interference in their work. On Wall Street, a good day as the Dow is up by 105 points. The Nasdaq rose 411 with the S&P 500 index up by 55 points. Oil near $84 a barrel. This is SRN News.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. A trial date has been set for the man accused of abducting a 10-year-old girl from Taft after meeting her through Roblox. Matthew Naval is scheduled to go on trial in October. He faces kidnapping and child sex charges. Authorities say the girl disappeared from Taft in April of last year and was found with Naval the next day in Sacramento County. Big Brothers Big Sisters is expanding into Kern County for the first time. The organization is looking for adults willing to serve as one-on-one mentors for kids between 6 and 18, along with businesses willing to support the program. Bakersfield gets a break from the triple-digit heat today. The forecast high is around 94 with clouds and a slight chance of a light shower. Tomorrow warms back up into the upper 90s. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, there's great news. Current tax relief initiatives from the IRS are helping struggling taxpayers resolve their tax problems and potentially reduce taxes owed by up to 99%. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more and even facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or letters from the IRS, take advantage of these relief options by calling Priority Tax Relief at 800-822-1495. Our tax resolution experts will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and hundreds of five-star reviews, we take pride in helping Americans resolve their tax problems. We may be able to put a stop to collections and reduce or eliminate what you owe the IRS. Get tax relief today by calling Priority Tax Relief. You may qualify for huge savings, so don't wait. Call 800-822-1495. 800-822-1495. That's 800-822-1495.
First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program. I'm very excited about this. In fact, now that Dolly Parton has passed away, Elizabeth Cook may have moved up to my favorite person in the world status. She'll be joining us to talk about her movie and her new record. We have got news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now, back to
my chair too far behind. Because like 3:30, we don't have these events, so I don't want to get too far behind. Let's see what everybody's talking about today. Francois, really? Hey, Ralph, how about Marie Callender's on your date? Did you just suggest Marie Callender's for a date? I hope you mean like after we have a nice dinner somewhere and then go get some pie. But Marie Callender's for a date? Okay.
Francois is in a certain age range.
Apparently. And then we'll go out and stay out late, and then we'll go to Denny's at like 2 a.m.
Just not the one on Mount Vernon, because apparently that one closed.
Really?
That's what JR told me today.
I was just on Mount Vernon because they closed. They're making construction, so Chris was giving me a ride home, and we had to go up Mount Vernon.
Huh.
I used to live out there. I used to hang out at that Denny's. The only good Denny's is 2 a.m.
See, I was just asking the
Like
same
you
thing.
would never go to Denny's. Like if it's 9:30 in the morning and we're like, let's go to breakfast.
Denny's
Nobody
is
says
never the
let's go to
first one.
Denny's. No, you'd go 24th Street Cafe. You would go. Where else would I go? I would go. I don't know, anywhere but Denny's. No, Denny's is 2 a.m. You're drunk. You're at the club, and you're just.
The moon's over my hand.
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
Exactly. Marie Callender's for your date. They might have a heavy pour at the bar nobody really knows about.
Oh, okay. Now we're shifting gears here.
They have bars at Denny's?
No, Marie Callender's.
Oh, Marie Callender's. Oh, yeah, they do have bars in Marie Callender's. I used to hang out at the one right down here.
Across the street right here?
Uh-huh. I don't know why. When I used to walk down there and have dinner. When I was trying to eat healthy, because they had like this healthy plate, this healthy menu. And I used to try to eat off that. It's like wild rice and salmon and stuff like that. I OD'd on that quickly, let me tell you. Rico says, I tuned in not long ago and you were contemplating Trump as the best ever. Now, that's just a lie. How long have you been with me, Chris?
Oh, a good couple years now.
Have you ever heard me call Donald Trump the best ever?
Never once, no.
I have said if he pulls off the Iranian situation, he'll go down as the best ever since Lincoln. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
We're in a quagmire. And they have no idea how to get off. And proof of that is now these economic sanctions, which just logically would have made sense as the first step. Because I always thought military action was the final step. but it illustrates that these guys are making it up as they go. To try to take an economic stance and strangle them off economically at this point, after you've told us you just devastated them and completely almost wiped them off the map. But you've never heard me say that he's the best ever. Never, ever, ever. Now today, you want to invoke the 25th over rebranding things. You should get a waffle maker for Christmas. Ralph, very professional look. Yeah, I wore a tie because I had to wear a white shirt, and I don't know. Makes me want a gas station corn dog because I'm eating a gas station corn dog. I played golf this morning. I didn't get to eat anything. The Braves had our number the last couple of days. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think they now own the season series. They were up 2-1. So, yeah, they're up 4-1 with only 2 more to play. Yeah. So now it comes down to the tiebreaker, and we're tied for second with the Braves for that position. We lose, and we get into a wild card playoff. So when we're playing that 3-game series, people are going to think about this series with the Braves.
Oh, yes, they are.
I'll tell you that. It's just crazy. Bases loaded, 2 consecutive innings, and Max Muncy swings at ball 4.
You really, really want is for my team to take that division from the Braves. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have us.
Yeah, we won the series with you guys. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I'll become a Philly fan. The Braves had our number. It even hit his glove. Oh, he's talking about Kyle Sucker. So I'm calling him. Hey, Ralph, how is this kid a blood and he is Hispanic? Maybe he is. No, I don't talk about names of gangs. I don't talk about names of gangs. I don't give these kids credit. They love to hear that. I learned that as a young kid in my late 20s working for the LA Sentinel in South Central. Betty Pleasant came up with that policy for our newspaper that we were not going to refer to their names or give them any kind of credit. They dig it. Betty was telling us they posted up in their little meeting places stories about them. So I don't give them. Several people have asked me that. How can a Mexican gang be an offshoot of a black gang? I don't know. I stopped being a reporter a long time ago and stopped focusing on these things as I did when I was in South Central. But they're urban terrorists, and I'm going back to my old feeling that they should be shot down on sight, or at least jailed on sight. That somehow we need to create some legislation, take it to the Supreme Court, that gang activity is, in essence, being part of ISIS. You are an urban American terrorist organization whose entire means of existence is extortion, blackmail, murder, robbery, car theft, you name it, they do it. They're urban terrorists, just like this Gabriel Torres Reyes, just like this kid who was in and out of jail. He stole a car when he was 15 years old, led the cops on a 6-hour spree. He was released. Days later, so meaning hours later, 48, 72 hours later, he assaulted his mom. He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a stolen vehicle, not once, but twice. So halfway through this kid's 15-year age experience, he's stolen 2 cars, attacked his mother, been charged with assault with a deadly weapon. He got probation. For assault with a deadly weapon, they said, just go out there and behave and check in with your probation officer. Cynthia Zimmer has to go. Cynthia Zimmer makes us unsafe by creating this revolving door for these people. And if it's not Cynthia Zimmer, then we've got to start creating stronger legislation to fight these people and stop calling them gang members. They're not gang members. They are urban terrorists. And if ISIS was running roughshod in Kern County, wouldn't we treat them a little differently? Well, that's essentially who these people are. They're not as sophisticated because they're idiots. They don't use bombs. They'd rather be thugs. They've got an image to portray. They got to be tough. They got to be hard. You stepped on my shoe, I have to shoot you. Then, after he assaulted his mother and was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and got probation, he then assaulted his stepfather. Well, I don't have to tell you what happened. You know, it was part of our judicial system here in Kern County. He got probation again. And then he violated that. And this is how cops used to work when I was a kid. If you started racking up charges, they'd wait to get you for spitting on the sidewalk, and then they'd throw the freaking book at your ass. Not here. Not here in Kern County. No. He broke probation once in April and once in July. Still out on the streets. He was found with illegal contraband at his school and hanging out with gang members, which, like felons, you can't hang out with felons. Once you're busted as a gang member, you can't be seen hanging out with gang members. But why would Gabriel not do whatever the Sam Hill he wants? He's a veteran of the system. Hell, if they're going to kick me loose after I beat the crap out of my mother and get charged with assault with a deadly weapon, I'll hang with my boys. I'm going to bring weed and whatever to class. What do I care? I got charged with assault with a deadly weapon and I walked out of court. I'm going to do whatever I want. And if I want to take a gun to a football game, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because Cynthia Zimmer's going to kick me and give me probation and 120 hours community service. I don't give a damn. It's crazy. Don't you feel badly for the cops? Don't you feel bad for the cops? They have to arrest these guys, and you know one or two officers like, God doggone, Harry, it's Gabriel again. You remember the kid we busted because he stole his car, and then he beat up his mama? Well, now he's attacking his stepfather. Oh, no, here he comes Gabriel again. What did he do now? He stole another car. Holy Toledo. It ain't the girl from Ipanema, but it's the sister from somewhere. Good googly moogly. Was that the Bailey poster child or what?
You need to take a break?
I need to go meet a black woman. No, we do need to take a break, actually. God. I'm sorry, Cleopatra Jones just walked by our building.
I was about to play the song just for
You
that.
should have. And this one, at least she looked at her brother. Did you see that? She looked over at her brother. I should have waited. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hey, and I'm dressed. I forgot I'm dressed. Let's go to break. I'll be back.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Cam Newton, he claims that there were players, coaches, and execs that told people that they got the COVID shot, but they really didn't. And he was defending Aaron Rodgers over his recent statements on ESPN. What Cam Newton is saying is that he has a right to be upset just because he didn't get this COVID shot, because there are those people who didn't get the shot either.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru to tell you the Subaru A Lot to Love event is going on right now at Sangera Subaru. This is the best time to get an incredible offer on a brand new 2026 Subaru, like a 2026 Outback Premium CVT. Lease one for $229 a month for 36 months with $5,017 due at signing. Offer ends August 31st, so stop by, see my good friends Damon Culbertson and Hassan Levy during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Pick out your new Subaru and hit the road. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall, 24/7 at sangerasubaru.com.
Lease a 2026 Outback Premium CVT for $229 a month plus tax for 36 months. Total payments $8,869, $5,017 due at signing. Includes first payment, excludes tax, title, license, and fees. Total lease cost $13,886, excluding tax and fees. TSRP $37,287. No security deposit required. Lease based on 7,500 mile per year, 15 cents per mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance Tier 1 SCA credit approval. Expires 8/31/26. Excludes optional products and dealer installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Somebody you just love to burn. Mom love the both of them. You see it in the blood. Okay, the good, the mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family.
It's a family affair. Why does all the music sound funky today?
I think it's because some of these are live from VH1, so that's probably why.
Yeah, that's why. 9 women and 3 men were sent home today. They have begun deliberations. This could take some time because remember, it's not a matter at this point, although there are some folks with tin foil hats on who believe that Patrick Clancy, Lindsay Clancy's husband, somehow murdered their 3 children. And, you know, Lisa, our associate producer, has been following this closer than anybody here. And so I've never really even watched the trial. I just watched clips on the news. But I found out that, God, what did I find out? That she went to 2 suicide hotlines and was told to go away. And what was the other big news that I found out this morning? I can't remember it. I did not write it down. But they have begun deliberations. And here is Kevin Reddington. He is the defense attorney. Here's a quick comment from his closing arguments.
You look at how many times, how many hours of the night in the afternoon she's looking this stuff up, in between taking care of the family, in between all of the stuff that was going on with visiting doctors, seeing doctors, going to Rhode Island, being told, no, we can't help you, calling a suicide hotline, we can't help you, calling another suicide hotline, we can't help you. My God, what does she have to do?
That's going to carry a lot of weight. And I remembered what I forgot. I learned, did you know this? That after she strangled the 5-year-old, the 3-year-old tried to run away. That just broke. So that means the child died in fear, knowing something was wrong. At 3, you see somebody get choked out. You may not understand that they're dead, but you know something ain't right. And I think at 3, you know. I think you understand death at 3. What do you guys think? I haven't been around a 3-year-old in forever. Does a 3-year-old understand death?
I
and
wouldn't
murder?
say they understand it fully, but
But if you saw your little brother, your older brother at 3, see your 5-year-old brother get strangled,
I
think you have a good concept. Why did he run if he didn't? Maybe he didn't know that mommy was strangling us, but
like that's
he
the
can see, he could watch that and be like, I don't want any part of that.
I don't think it's necessarily what he saw. I think it's what they heard. Because when you hear certain things and it freaks you out, obviously he would run.
That's just heartbreaking.
Right. And again, because you're right, realistically, he wouldn't understand what's happening in front of him, but you know when you're in trouble. I
Yeah.
think that is more what it is.
And it's your mother.
Yeah.
So how can you comprehend
That's
that
the worst
she's
part about it.
killing him? But yeah, I heard this morning that he ran away. Meantime, in all fairness, here's Jennifer Sprague, who makes equally a compelling argument for the prosecution.
Because she had those thoughts at the beginning of December of harming her kids. And she told Patrick and her mother about them. But who she didn't tell is important and very telling. She didn't tell a single provider, not Tufts, not Gelada, not Jennifer McAllister, not Dukes, no one at McLean, no one at MGH, no one at South Shore. Didn't tell any of them. And why? Because the police might take away your kids. That's a rational thought. That telling mandated reporters that you're having a thought of harming your kids, that they might be taken away for their safety, that's a rational thought.
It is. It is. And a lot that she did on that day is pretty damn rational. She made him lunch, sent the man out to get some stool softener. She explained what it was over the phone. The fact that she only heard the voice once, that she didn't hear the voices prior to the murder. She hasn't heard the voices after the murder. She hasn't had any wants of suicide since the murder. But again, like I learned, and I'm sure you're learning with me, that the study of postpartum psychosis is very rare. There was a moment where the defense got a hold of the expert witness for the prosecution and asked him, have you done many of these cases? And he was like, oh, yeah, I've done many of these cases. When was the last time you did one of these cases? Psychosis. Late 80s, 90s. Like I said yesterday, I was a different man in the 90s. I was a young, handsome boy. Chris wasn't even alive 30-something years ago. Are you kidding? And that's the last time he did with psychosis? And you're the expert? And you haven't done this in 30-odd years. I don't care what it is. Throwing darts, playing pool, playing golf, studying, learning, being a lawyer, being a doctor. If you ain't done, being an umpire, if you ain't done it in 30 years, you might know, you might have information, but you ain't no expert. You need to go back to school is what you need to do. So I think they're going to struggle with this, they being the jury. And as you have heard throughout the week, I have changed my mind on whether she should be institutionalized or imprisoned when I learned, I think either yesterday or the day before, that if she is institutionalized, there is no set sentence. You know, I was always under the impression, and I'm pretty damn sure, you tell me, but I'm pretty damn sure I heard reporters, television reporters saying this, that if she goes to the mental institution, she'll still be there 30, 40 years. Well, that's kind of a presumption. I don't understand why people want to call me during the show. I really don't. I just don't understand this. But Nada, I will answer your text message. And unless it has something to do with the show, I'm not going to be very happy with you. Dear Ralph, it's Nana here. I don't get to listen to you very often, but it seems every time I've tuned in the last couple of weeks, you've talked about this horrible happening with details. Is it possible for you to talk about something more upbeat? I know there's a lot of things that are important in this world that we could discuss rather than details of this horrible happening. I'm sorry, Nada. This is a news talk station. I am a former journalist who considers himself still a reporter, a man who gives information, disseminates information. And I would be the laughing stock of this community if I did not talk about what happened at Independence High School, the Clancy trial. These are things that people are talking about. And no, they're not all very happy. Neither is the news, but I don't stop watching the news because if it bleeds, it leads. We live in very tumultuous, dangerous, unsafe times. I talked about this yesterday, and people need to know this. I think the smartest thing that I said all day yesterday was, and I've said it before, you are unsafe in this world the minute you take your key out of the front door. Just like you're on a camera, as soon as you take your key out of the front door, you don't know if you're going to get killed in a church, at a school, at a movie theater, at a mall, at an airport. It's the reality of the 21st century. And Nada, you know I love you, but the single worst thing that a listener can do, because my mother did it about 2 weeks ago when I said something about our family, and my mother and I literally didn't speak for like 3 or 4 days. The single word, you do better telling me I'm stupid and I'm wrong and boo, boo, boo. But the single worst thing anybody can do, other than Rogers Brandon, is tell me what to say on my radio show. I've been doing this for 22 years. Not I got this, okay? And I'm sorry, if you don't like the topics, then just turn the channel. Mr. Turnipseed is here. Good googly moogly.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Rescue teams and military helicopters are searching for hundreds of missing people along the Nepal-China border. That's where a deadly torrent of water and mud several stories high swept through communities Wednesday following a glacier collapse. President Trump says the U.S. is offering aid to Nepal.
Anything they want. And there were 50, maybe 60 Americans over there. We haven't gotten a full list yet, but hopefully they're okay. But that looks like something that somebody will be lost, unfortunately.
More than 390 people were killed and more than 1,400 are missing, including hundreds of foreigners and pilgrims. Attorney General Todd Blanche says the Department of Justice has charged 81 alleged gang members in Puerto Rico.
These defendants are alleged drug traffickers of Los Bajadeo, also known as LBD.
And says they were charged with
the illegal possession and distribution of mass quantities of cocaine, crack cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, and marijuana.
Acting U.S. Attorney for Puerto Rico, Hector Ramirez Carbo, says violent gang members have terrorized their community for years, often in broad daylight.
These 81 violent gang members will now face justice, and so will any other that try to take their place.
And says
today, the families of Mayagüez can peacefully enjoy what their communities have to offer without fear of harm.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
President Trump says he's renaming Lake Ontario to be known as Lake America in the United States as he escalates his trade war with Canada. The president signed an executive order in the Oval Office on Thursday. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 105 points. The Nasdaq rose 411. The S&P advanced 55. Oil near $84 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
I'm Rob Archer. A trial date has been set for the man accused of abducting a 10-year-old Taft girl after meeting her through the online game Roblox. Matthew Naval is scheduled to go on trial in October. He's charged with kidnapping a child to commit lewd acts and 2 counts involving lewd acts with a minor. Authorities say the girl disappeared from Taft in April of last year, was found with Naval the next day in Sacramento County. He told 17 News in a jailhouse interview that he believed the girl was 18. Court documents say he admitted kissing her and trying to get a hotel room in Fresno. Bakersfield police are asking the public for more evidence in the Independence High School shooting. They say they want photos, videos, or audio recorded before, during, or after the shooting that killed 17-year-old Levi Jermaine Carter Brown. The 15-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree murder. Police say the case is gang-related. Bakersfield will soon own the former Bank of America building downtown. The city council has approved the financing needed to complete the purchase. The 10-story Truxton Tower will provide office space for Bakersfield police and other tenants. The city says buying the building should save money over continuing to lease BPD office space elsewhere. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central California is expanding into Kern County. The group pairs adult volunteers with young people for one-on-one mentoring. It says it is now recruiting both volunteers and local business partners. The organization already operates in Fresno, Kings, Madera, and Tulare counties. Traffic is back to normal on the southbound 99 in Delano. A semi crash shut down part of the freeway this morning, but all lanes have since reopened. I'm Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest well in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday, 27th day of August. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll talk money with Daniel Petrey. Coming up at 5, we'll talk more about some of the things the president is doing. He's trying to raise the Kennedy Center. You will hear Howard Lutnick explain the rationale for destroying this beautiful structure inside of our Capitol. We'll talk a little baseball. The Dodgers blew it again last night with the Braves. Tanner Scott has now blown 2 saves in 2 different outings. And if I could read my writing. Oh, there's a partial lunar eclipse tonight. You'll get to see a blood moon at around 9 o'clock. Sneak outside your home or your apartment. And at 9 o'clock, you'll see the moon turns red because of the sun that comes through the Earth's atmosphere, is my understanding. But it is a Thursday. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Mike Turnipseed is back from the coast, live in studio. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is Harriet?
Harriet is doing just fine. 4th grade.
4th grade.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yes, busy.
I remember when Harriet was born.
Yeah.
God, life is crazy.
Goes by fast.
It does.
That's
It
why we
does.
got to go up and see them. Keep the kids, We try to go once a month.
Yeah.
We don't always make it, but
yeah. Okay. So what's going on? I see you're traveling now with your city council questions. That's pretty funny. These are great
traveling. Well, no, I
questions.
brought these into you so we could talk about it. I mentioned
okay.
that I did it, but I actually sent the questions out this week to all of the council candidates except for the one, because she did not provide an email address to the city.
Well, why did you prep them? Don't prep them.
Well, no, they're going to answer. I asked for answers. I'm going to post them on our website. So you can actually go to the plan is to get, when I get the questions back,
Yeah.
I'm going to set up a page on the website and here's the questions, here's the answers for all the candidates. So people can actually look at what people think and how they answer questions.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And everybody, we're just playing referee here. We're not, we don't back anybody.
Yeah.
But we think people should see the answers on how you're going to address the issues that are facing the city, whether it starts from Truxton Tower, general plan, your wastewater, sewer rates, pensions, the lack of a growing revenue base, the lack of accountability of measure end money, and the whole idea of transparency.
Good questions. Good questions.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened? Were you at last night's city council meeting?
No, we had.
But you watched it, I'm assuming.
Well, I watched it this afternoon. I didn't quite finish it the last 20 minutes. Well, no, because we had our first night of our Current Leaders Academy last night.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Large class?
It's always 10. It's 10 now.
You limit it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Explain what this class is all about.
Back in 2009, I started Current Tax 2000. I joined my Current Tax position in 2005. By 2008, I was thinking, we need to get people who know how to ask questions, good questions, not just. And so we set up a nonprofit, a C3, because we're Current Tax is C4, an education fund, Kern County Taxpayers Education Fund. And our basically one and single project is the Current Leaders Academy. And we started class 18. You can go to the currentleadersacademy.org and learn about the program. You can see the pictures and bios of all of our students and faculty and everybody. And it's got a good class this year.
Yeah. And you used to have the media come in and try to let them get used to the media, because I once spoke.
I think you did 2 or 3 years, but we survey, every class gets surveyed. And what came back is, well, we did another program and they had a media thing. So I don't want to repeat. I want to make it the next level. So if you look at our webpage and our topics, we don't have traditional people. We have some people who teach master's program classes at Cal State are coming in and talking about critical thinking, ethics. Ethics is a big issue in this town.
Are those two things that still exist? Critical thinking and ethics?
Well, that comes through Kegley. The Kegley Institute does the ethics training. And our longest serving professor, he's the only one, is Steve Gamboa. He's been in every class.
Really?
And he teaches critical thinking. He came in the first time he caught, and the questions and the whole table sitting around the table. And he says, I get up and lecture, and some kids have headphones on. They don't pay attention. They don't even ask any questions. So you're up there just talking to yourself, basically.
Yeah.
And we get all these good questions going. He says, golly, I like this. And he's come back every year and done it, and he's the last of the Mohicans.
I'm sorry, I've got to be rude to somebody. Continue.
Answering your phone?
Yes, because this is just, I've got to stop this.
It's about your golf game tomorrow, Ralph.
No, it's not lecturing me on how to do my show. I'm working, please. I'm working, please. Don't disturb during.
Well, you have me on the show, huh?
Well, it's just, she's a lovely woman, but she's lecturing me on topics that I should use and just breaking up the show.
Well, I get tired of hearing about Dodger baseball all the time. And
Too bad. Too bad.
What would you talk about if you didn't talk about golf and the Dodgers?
You want to see my rundown there, Mr. Turnipseed? Do you see what's on there?
I can't even read it. It's Chinese.
Well, we talked about the Gabriel Torres. What do you think of that? This kid with I don't understand it, Michael. You got to explain this to me. How a kid can get charged with assault with a deadly weapon for attacking his mother and get probation, then go attack his stepfather, get probation, steal a car for a second time, and he's wandering the streets of Bakersfield. We don't have a police problem. We have a punishment problem where they've created a revolving doors for these juveniles. You're telling me that law enforcement experts like Cynthia Zimmer and the other people on Truxton and even the judges that put these sentences don't see a budding career criminal when a kid attacks his mother and his stepfather and he's stealing cars at 15 and running around the town with a handgun stuck in his waist? You don't see that this kid is gone. There's no saving Gabriel Reyes. There's no saving him. He's going to get out in about 4 to 7 years. And what do you think he's going to be up to when he gets back out on the streets of Bakersfield? That he's going to become a welder? He's going to find a new life and go straight? Hell to the nah. He's going to come out savvier because he's now allowed to hang out with gang members in juvenile hall. And he's going to come out savvier and wittier and smarter as a criminal. And he will be an urban terrorist till the 2 options that I tell you gang members have. The 3. He ain't going to get out of the gang. That's one of them. Or he's going to die, or he's going to go to prison. Those are his 3 options, period. And I don't understand how law enforcement people don't recognize this at a very early age. When a 15-year-old attacks his mother, he's got to go. He's got to go. If he has no respect for the woman that brought him into this world, how in the world do you think he's going to respect police or authority or principals or teachers or anybody else that comes into his life? I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
I've heard that already, Ralph. But, so you know what you do? You need to invite Cynthia to come in.
Oh,
you need to invite. Well, she turned you down? You just keep inviting
I don't
week.
want her on my show. I do not want Cynthia Zimmer on this show. I do not want, because she would never, A, she would never come on the show. B, she would never answer the questions. Why isn't your sister in jail, Cynthia? Did your sister not commit a crime or did she not? Is Donnie Youngblood lying when he claims that your sister committed a crime when she told your grandchildren, your grandnieces, not to speak to the cops? She'd run out. She would never show up here. She'll show up for Maxwell because, let me shut up. She'll show up for him. Hell, he lets her do her show, which is something I don't understand, how we're letting politicians. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is
you didn't have any. You didn't have any. What's left of it?
We've got 10 minutes. Go ahead. I'll be quiet.
But just getting back to that is, have you ever had elected host? I don't think so.
Ever had what?
An elected host your show and you've gone up? No, you've never.
We don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that.
You've had.
I don't do that. There are too many people that can do the show that you don't need elected officials. That shows a bias. It's just, no, that I think is unethical.
So that means you can't use Cassie anymore pretty soon if she wins.
Well, I won't be very soon. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's why she didn't host when I was gone in August. Because
she's already filed.
We are both Leos, and her birthday's just a couple of days from mine, and I always go on vacation on my birthday, and I always let her host as a birthday gift. And this last period, I couldn't do it because, she'd already filed.
That'll be an interesting race.
That's going to be a very interesting race.
5 people, how it splits, turnout. If they're going to have any debates, there's usually one debate on maybe KGT. And
I was in the Northeast today, and I'm seeing signs, but I don't see Cassie Biddle signs. but I saw signs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like wondering.
Well,
I think
Miss Howlings has been around because she called me like 4 months ago and had a conversation and asked questions and if you want, she's going to be very much like Ken Weir. And I'll say Ken Weir when Ken Weir was before he got sick.
Okay, I was going to tell you to select your words carefully.
No. She was bright. She has
No, I meant
her
Ken
opinion.
Weir.
Oh well, no, but he's obviously last night he had a real problem understanding a basic concept.
What happened?
Well, moving the police department from California Avenue,
right up the street here at
Right.
that old the Mexican
4450.
Mexican
No,
restaurant.
this is not the training restaurant. This is office space.
Oh, okay.
Back on 4450, I think.
A little further up the street.
Yeah, up there where the buildings are in a cluster
Mhm.
back there. They're back in there, and they're paying almost $1 million in rent.
What?
Well, they rent a lot of space because the city doesn't have a lot of own office space. They never have. So the point became they're paying $1 million for rent. That's one of the reasons they think it's a good thing because the police department now can spend $1 million on the building in rent because it's in their budget. And Ken couldn't really grasp that. He says, "Well, you only get you only get $1 million once. They're paying a lease. Go to a 15 or 20-year lease, 10-year lease, 5-year lease. You've got payments to make.
Right.
So
what
when you
changed?
move and your lease is over, you're not making that payment anymore, and you're moving into your own building. So the police department frees up $1 million
bucks, yeah.
a year, and that is ongoing money because it's money you already get just because you get it. They're just going to spend it
in a different way
internally instead of spending it to whoever the landlord is. Yeah. And it's
But
sad
it's the
that
same-
Mr. Clegg got kind of frustrated. He tried to explain it 5 different ways, and Ken kept asking the question, well, you only count the $1 million once. And he says, no, you count the $1 million every year because we're not paying it every year now that we've been paying it for years.
Well, it's a savings. That's a good
Yes,
thing.
it is savings. That's one of the
Ken
reasons.
couldn't grasp that.
Couldn't quite grasp it last night.
That's too bad. Well, like I said, hopefully Cassie will be in there. To be honest with you, I wish I could have run her campaign because I thought she got into it late. I think with her name recognition, she could have scared a lot of folks off had she got in early. Like I said, I was in the Northeast today and I saw a lot of folks signs, but I've never seen a Cassie Biddle sign. And there's a lot of time left, but I hope they don't drop the ball, as the phrase goes, because
you can ask her campaign manager that when she's on. Be nice, Rob.
I am nice. I'm a very nice man. What else is going on, Michael?
Well, I hope that I'm doing this, and I've never really done this before. I hope it'll be interesting on page visits I get once I get it out and promote it and say I'm doing this. Is that people look and read and compare, because these are the questions are adult questions.
You think they're all going to return answers?
They do. They do. If they don't, they don't. It's
I don't
free
think
space
all
for
of
them.
Yeah, I don't think they all will.
Well, I gave them a deadline next Wednesday.
And it's the
at noon.
21st century, too. They can chat GPT it or AI it or.
Well, you can AI. What I find, that's why I quit looking at social media. It's garbage.
Yeah.
People make things up.
You think?
I mean, I read something and I go, oh my God, name of the Father. I just sign of the cross for whoever wrote that. Either you are doing it intentionally or you are just dumb. Some of the things that pop up on social media.
It's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy.
Like this theory.
No facts.
This theory that Patrick Clancy killed the 3 kids and not Lindsay Clancy. Do you know there are people that we could go talk to in this building that believe that? We have a sales executive that believes that over here. Rand Dizzle's wife, although she's not here, she's a school teacher, administrator. She believes that.
It's all your.
How is that possible?
Your source of information?
Yeah.
And
and these TikTok.
Literally speaking, when I get up about 5 a.m. I spend 2 hours at a minimum at my desk at home reading different sources. I read different newspapers.
I do the same thing from 7 to 9, not 5 to 7.
I read what Politico says. I read what the Atlantic says. I read what Axios says, because they're different. I mean, everybody has a different spin on things, and so I get a more global view of what is the people who obviously don't like what the president's doing, and people who do.
Yeah,
and we see it all the time.
I gotta go, but you mentioned him, so I will leave you with this: is he losing his mind, Michael? Or at least, I don't know. That's too easy. I mean, I'm not the first one to suggest the 25th Amendment. You know who the first one who suggested that, right?
No, who did?
Mr. Kevin McCarthy. He's on tape suggesting, after the January 6th situation, of invoking the 25th Amendment. So I'm not the first. But the nonsense that he's
term, not second.
The nonsense that he's doing, and a listener described it as me being obsessed by his little projects. It's been in all the papers, but we are at war. And yes, while we're at war, I just don't see Franklin Roosevelt worrying about putting his name on stuff during the middle of World War II. I don't see Lyndon Johnson doing pet projects in the middle of Vietnam. This guy is a nut. He is a nut. He wants to raise the Kennedy Center. Did you hear that?
That's the latest thing. He wants to raise it.
And Lake Ontario now is Lake America. I mean, he doesn't even have imagination, Michael.
Well, he was going to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of
He
America.
has, as far as they're concerned. So as the administration concerned.
Has any map company officially done that yet?
I doubt it, and certainly the news organizations aren't. And the Department of Defense now is the Department of War.
And the
Nutsy,
fact is,
cuckoo stuff.
There's reading heavy duty stuff that people are really concerned about what's going on with our military.
Yes.
And the ship not being taken care of. There are, if you go back.
But yet they're worried about these pet projects. But these kids on the USS Lincoln are jumping off the damn ship, eating freaking bad raw chicken that'll kill you, by the way. Salmonella will kill you. They had no water. We had a destroyer out there for 4 days without electricity. For 4 days. But Trump's running around D.C. creating Grand Prix and
They're on YouTube. There's films, and it's, I guess you subscribe. It's called WW2. That they do the backstories of that you never really heard about, how we went, the industrialization of what happened, and the fact that we're all a little Wool's Jeep. It weighed 600 pounds, so it gets stuck in the mud. They could actually lift it up out of the mud, but all the parts were interchangeable. Whether Ford made it or John Blow made it, everyone was made exactly the same to go in. And the fact that we could rebuild our tanks in the field, good old farm boys come changing out engines and doing things. We'll talk about that next week.
There you go, Michael, because that's what that means. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. My turn seat, everybody.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Two quick questions. Would you describe your current wireless service as 5-star? Are you paying more than $34.99 a month for unlimited data? I only ask because in a recent industry survey of 120,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company out there to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. And now for just a few more weeks, Pure Talk's offering unlimited data for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. After that, you'll get unlimited data for as low as $34.99 a month with no contract and no commitment. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's 5-star U.S. customer service team will switch you in minutes. And at just $15 a month for your first 3 months, there really is no better time to switch to Pure Talk than right now. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
842-537-6842 We've got about a minute and a half. Let's read 2 text messages and then get Mr. Petrey in here.
Ralph and Chris, I bet you didn't know Rosedale Denny's has a shuffleboard in the bar. Fun. I actually did know that.
I've never been to the Denny's in Rosedale. Mike, are you a big Denny's guy still at your age?
No, sir.
No, you don't do Denny's?
He's a BCC guy.
Village Grill.
Oh,
good
good
choice.
call.
Good choice. I love the Village Grill. I can't go there anymore because I am so tempted every time I go there to get the, they have the best Eggs Benedict in town. And that hollandaise sauce hobbles me for days. So I can't.
Baby.
I know. I can't do, that's a good choice. Village Grill. Village Grill. One more and let's get to the back half. Or do we got any time?
We got about 30 seconds.
Well, let's just go to the break. Coming up, Daniel Petrey from Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors. Coming up at the top, we'll talk more about Donald Trump, restate our top story of the day, talk a little baseball. Tanner Scott has done it again. Blew 2 saves in 2 days. I would stick around if I you.
This is Compass Media Network's presentation of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. Police in Bakersfield asking the public for photos, video, or audio connected to last week's shooting at Independence High School. Investigators say they want anything recorded before, during, or after the shooting. A 15-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree murder in the killing of Levi Jermaine Carter Brown. Police say the shooting was gang-related. The city is moving ahead with buying the former Bank of America building downtown. City Council voted 4-2 to approve a $12.1 million loan to help complete the purchase. Bakersfield Police Investigation and Training Units are expected to move into the building next year. All lanes of southbound 99 are open again in Delano. A semi crash shut down the freeway and caused major delays this morning before crews cleared the wreck. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour, and when it breaks, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Whether it's help with hormone therapy, weight management, or sexual health, every woman should have access to affordable prescription medication and personalized care that understands the whole woman. Join me, Dr. Doug Lucas, clinical lead of hormone optimization and longevity at LifeMD, along with other leading experts on the podcast, Here's Something Good on Women's Health and Longevity. To learn more, go to lifemd.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving,
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
You do know the misnomer on that. When they say it's a greenhouse gas, they're not talking about how if you have a greenhouse, that inside the greenhouse, because of the growth of the plants or anything, that you have a concentration of carbon dioxide. It's a greenhouse gas because they know if they pump carbon dioxide into a greenhouse, things grow better. See, you learned something today.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
It's a Thursday. Time to bring in our money man from Maker and Petrey Wealth Advisors, Daniel Petrey. And you just texted me. What did you text me, Daniel?
Oh, I think it was Preach It, Ralph.
Oh, did you preach it, Ralph? Yeah, that's exactly what you said. What was I talking about?
You were going off on we don't have a police problem. We have a
punishment problem.
Deep punishment. There you go. I couldn't remember the word.
How these kids are just... Don't the adults know these kids are savvy enough to know we can do whatever we want? They'll give us probation. They'll kick us. We can do whatever the hell we want.
What child doesn't learn if they're able to work their parents?
I mean,
and that's the same thing they're doing.
He attacked his mom and then later attacked his father-in-law.
They're not dumb.
Doesn't that tell you he is completely and totally out of control? Completely and totally.
Yeah, I don't know what it tells me, but I know like he shouldn't be.
On the streets.
Yeah, it's.
He should not be. And now he'll do 4 or 5 years for a murder, and he'll come out 22, 23, savvier because he's hung around juvenile criminals. Probably stronger. They probably exercise. They've taken weights. I'm pretty sure, out of prisons and juvie. But you got nothing to do, so he'll do sit-ups, he'll get stronger, do push-ups, and he'll be more dangerous when he comes out of juvenile hall.
Can California not punish them harder if they're
No,
not
and
at all?
we have to change that legislation. We have to absolutely. I think, because I don't think that every 15-year-old needs to be treated as an adult, but I think if you are associated with a gang, you are automatically should be treated like an adult. You are an urban terrorist. and you should be treated like one.
Right. I mean, just like a drug abuser, you can't just keep telling them, "Oh, you'll get it this time. You'll get it this time." They need treatment, help,
bad help. And if they are not willing to get the help, you're just gonna give them probation. Who do you think they're gonna run back to? They're just gonna go running back to their
They're going to do
gang.
what they know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which we all would if that's what we knew.
Yeah.
I mean, people are creatures of habit.
Donald Trump is driving me batty.
Yeah, I heard a little bit with turnip seed.
Please explain this war with Canada. Please make some modicum of sense out of this for our brothers in Washington and Minnesota and those border communities that depend on Canada. Las Vegas, that depends on Canada. One of the reasons Vegas is down, which for us is a good thing because they're starting to change and become less expensive and offer more, bargains. But they get 20% of their revenue from Canada, and that's gone.
Is it possible he's just doing this, like playing the heavy club and trying to get them to play ball with us better in other areas?
I would think that, and I used to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he has amassed such a series of kooky statements and positions that I just don't. I don't know if he's joking or not, because you got to take him seriously when he says crazy things. That we might have to change the name of the Pacific and the Atlantic. I am not making that up. He actually said that in the White House this morning. That we might have to change the name of two of the oceans.
Do you think he does that just to get people talking about something else?
No, I think he's nutsy cuckoo. I think he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I'm joining Kevin McCarthy in trying to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Oh, I didn't know Kevin McCarthy is in favor of that.
Well, not lately, but he was back in January or February of 2020. Sure was. He's on. I can call up the audio where he suggests that we might have to use the 25th Amendment. So when people scream and yell at me, why are you saying that, Ralph? I'm just saying I'm echoing Kevin McCarthy. He said it first. And it just, if we weren't in a war, maybe I could understand all these Lake Ontario, change the oceans, boop, 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 boop. But we are in a war. And explain to me how they're implementing an economic strangulation at this juncture. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it have made much better sense to maybe have begun with this?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't know. It gives the perception that they're like, well, this didn't work. Let's try that.
Exactly.
Well, let's try this.
And
I don't. Try something else.
That's what I said. It's day to day. It's what do we do next?
Yeah.
And when you got Pete Hegseth advising you, Mr. Fox and friends heading the State Department, it's like, the Pentagon. It's pretty scary.
Think that's the strategy, but I could see why people would think that.
Then what's the strategy?
Yeah, you got me. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know, Ralph.
Yeah, I don't.
I try to give him the benefit of the doubt and just kind of shrug my shoulders. Some of it I don't understand.
It's just crazy. He wants to rename the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
what is wrong with you?
I don't understand. I mean, I'd almost think more sense if he wanted to call it Trump East and Trump West or something. I mean, I'm like, so you want to use your name?
Don't say that out loud because somebody might send that to him and he would fall in love with that.
He would like, oh, that's good.
He might even come up with that. Trump East and Trump West.
Trump West, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. They might pass that along.
Maybe I'll become a new advisor.
No kidding.
Oh,
Good
no.
googly moogly. I don't know. And of course, nobody cares. It was a one-day story. If we talk about Natalie Harp or if we talk about the ballroom or this and that, it's a 2-3 day story. But we hit $50 trillion in the deficit. people talked about it one day and it was over as if it never
40,
existed.
40 trillion, yeah.
What did I say? 40?
I think you said 50. I don't know. Maybe you said 40.
40 trillion.
But yeah, I was a little surprised it didn't get more airtime. I mean, even Democrats bought it up, but that's because Trump's in the White House. But
of course.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that, again, I just think people, it's almost like you're so, they try to give you a little bit and then you become okay with it, a little more, a little more, a little more. I think people think it's not a big deal because we can tolerate it, but you can until you can't.
Well, I'm at my wit's end. You know, we've got, 2 months before the midterms, and I just don't think he cares about the fate of the Republican Party. He cares about the fate of one person, and that is Donald J. Trump. Period. End of sentence.
How bad will we get hurt in the midterms?
Well, I don't think as bad as we should. I think I was just talking about this earlier. I think this rise in democratic socialism will kind of, save us a little bit.
Right, the gerrymandering a little bit.
Yeah, but now
yeah.
the Senate races look really scary. James Tellerico is down in Texas beating the I candidate, the infidel, the indicted man, the impeached man, Ken Paxton. Now Dan Sullivan is in trouble up in Alaska. That certainly is in play.
Ooh.
Maine is in play. Sherrod Brown is winning in Ohio. Roy Cooper's winning in North Carolina. We have no idea what Darlene Graham is going to do. South Carolina is a very red state, but that gaffe and her absolute inexperience, who knows?
And I can see people on the bubble, they're like, well, I don't want necessarily Democrats, but I know I don't want what I've experienced the last, 2-4 years, whatever you want to call it.
Well, and the other thing that saves the Republicans is in this void, the Democrats have an opportunity, and I don't mean this partisanly. I'm trying to be objective on this. I really, really am. They're stupid.
Yeah,
they've come up with no answers. Their whole fight is, I'm not Trump. We're going to get Trump. We're going to fight Trump, and I'm going to stand up against Trump, and I'm going to stand. How about this is how since they couldn't do it, this is how we're going to bring down your prices. This is how we're going to make your life better. But they're not saying that. So their popularity is just as bad as the Republicans.
I know. I don't understand that. I look at them and I think from our side, it seems like you could win 75% of the vote.
They really could if they had ideas. If they had
ideas and stay normal and say, look, we this is what we're going to do, and we don't want socialism, we don't want the wackadoos,
But they can't say that. That's the rock and a hard place they find themselves in.
No,
they're very afraid.
We're a big tent.
They're very afraid to attack these democratic socialists because if I'm Hakeem Jeffries, I know I just lost every 18 to 30-year-old vote.
That's right. All the energy in their party is in that.
So they don't know what to do. Did you see they're tearing apart Hakeem Jeffries because he met with Jared Kushner? Because he met with him.
Yeah, it's I thought 10 years ago I thought that we couldn't get along anymore. Now it's not only can we not get along, we can't even live in the same state.
We can't even talk. Democrats are harshing Bill Maher still for having dinner with Donald Trump.
I don't understand.
I've been on a dating site where half the women are like, no Trumpers, no MAGA. And it's
you may not vote the same way as your mother, but you still love her. She's
thank
your mother.
you. You couldn't date somebody that doesn't vote the way you do. You couldn't have a relationship with somebody whose political views don't match up with yours. That's where we are right now. I only date Republicans or I only date Democrats. That's crazy.
It does seem weird. I guess we're going to have a plastered on our forehead which side we're on because I don't want to. Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, in 3 years they'll have Democrat and Republican dating sites.
Because we're not Americans anymore.
No.
We're either Republican or Democrat.
Yep, you're either MAGA or you're a socialist.
which is sad. I mean,
So sad.
Can't that be a normal conservative?
Yeah. What is that these days?
Yeah, that's.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
maybe I'll be an outcast.
Yeah, you're an outlier.
Yeah, I'm a terrible outlier.
What's going on with the economy? Let's check out our deficit. Are we at 41 trillion?
No.
Oh, good.
And luckily, we went up for the week, but we only went up the normal 29 or so billion. So, you know.
Isn't that sad when we're relieved that we only went up 29 billion?
Yeah.
So sad.
I'll give you some numbers to make it. I don't know.
Bring it home. Yeah, bring it home.
Debt per taxpayer is
Yes.
almost 361,000.
Is that good?
Debt per citizen is over 116,000.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
So your nephew, 116 grand in debt. That's what he owes the government. That's what it'd be.
So that's frightening.
And if you're a but of course, there's not as many taxpayers as there are citizens, but most of us are taxpayers. That's 360,000.
Yeah. Crazy.
Let's see. Debt to GDP is almost 123%. So if you think about it, you're spending 23% more than what you bring in every month. That's going to dig a pretty deep hole quickly.
So what has to happen? Are we just going to have to crash and have like another just ultimate depression before legislators?
Unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen to wake us up.
And it's going to happen within 10 years. It has to.
Yeah, I don't know when, but I would say sooner than later, yeah.
Yeah, unless they come in and do something, and they absolutely refuse. Absolutely refuse.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I just think it's... I mean, Republicans will talk about it, but then they don't do anything about it, you know. And
that would be
Democrats don't like to talk about it at all.
That would be a great way to start bipartisanship. That if the legislators came together and just said, let's put a deficit committee together and let's do something.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't do that these days.
Well, and we differ, even if we have the same goal, we differ greatly. Because Republicans would say, well, let's get the economy rolling, let's lower taxes, and the Democrats would be, well, if you lower taxes, you'll have less revenue, and the debt will get worse.
So
we'll spend less.
Let's tax millionaires, and
yeah,
and that's not going to.
And then they leave, and then it gets what's the frustrating part is we can't find a way to give and take and make it work. It's just we flip-flop back between parties, and I hate him. I'm better because they're bad, and vote for me. And then the same in 4 years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I don't get it. If we could grow our way out of it, that'd be great. But luckily, we have proficiency and productivity from technology and now AI that has helped stem inflation, but I don't think it's enough to push us over the top.
Let's take a look at gold and silver, and I got to fly.
Gold and silver did pretty good for the week.
Always good to hear.
Last I saw, we were a little over 4,600 in gold.
Wow, that is up.
Silver was 69, around 69 and a half.
That's up a skosh.
Yeah, they've been trending well.
As you predicted.
Miners have responded well. GDX is, which is the ETF for the big gold and silver miners, and it is about 14 points from the all-time high that we probably hit back in February.
Wow.
So we've come back a long way.
A long way.
Yeah.
Had me scared there for a minute, Jack.
Well, remember you have a good advisor.
Yes, I do. Smartest financial.
Sleep better.
Oh, it does. You have no idea.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it, Ralph.
No idea. Always great to talk to you, Daniel. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next Thursday. You as well, sir.
Bye.
Daniel Petrey. He's located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Call him if you're talking about retirement, need some financial assistance. 395-9400, 395-9400. We'll check the board. I'll check the chat room. We will head toward the 5. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230, streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Everything about Dolly Parton still is awesome. The headline they had was, there's one thing we can all agree on, Dolly Parton. That was a magical human being right there. There might be people like trying to pretend, and I hope there are people out there that are inspired by her life and times, that try to be a little bit more Dolly Parton.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
If you're a local businessman and you take your IT seriously, there are 2 things that you absolutely need to do. One, you need to listen to the Ralph Bailey Show on Wednesdays at 3:30 when Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne, owner-operators of Adaptive Networks, come in, basically talking to business folks on what you should be looking for, what should be alarm bells when people are coming back and fixing the same thing over and over again. And the next thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call the Van Alstynes at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638. 241-0638. As I have talked about so often, we have teamed up for almost a year with American General Media and Adaptive Networks because as a radio station, we absolutely depend on our IT. So we had to go to a team that was reliable, competent, and has the best customer service in Kern County. If you're a serious business person, call the folks at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638 or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
Hey, this is Terry Maxwell. You know, one thing I've never enjoyed is painting. It takes time, patience, and real skill to do it right. That's why when it comes to painting my home or business, I trust the professionals at Howling Painting. Howling Painting is family-owned and operated right here in Kern County and has proudly served our community since 1978. They were even voted Best of Bakersfield, Best Painting Company in 2025 and 2026. Whether it's residential or commercial, interior or exterior, Howling Painting delivers top-quality work at competitive prices. Their team is dedicated to exceptional service and results that exceed expectations. And they don't consider the job finished until you're completely satisfied. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, so you can feel confident your property is in the good hands from the start to the finish. Get a free, no-obligation consultation today at Howling Painting. That's HALLING painting.com, howlingpainting.com, or call 872-0988. Howling Painting, quality works you can trust.
What keeps you up at night? Do you wonder if what you've saved will be enough? If your money will go as far as you plan? Or whether your retirement will look the way you imagine? What worries you? Everyone's concern is different, but ignoring it won't make it disappear. This is Ron Paul. You may not be able to predict what comes next, but you can take steps now to diversify your savings with precious metals before uncertainty becomes urgency. My friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit explaining how gold can help diversify your IRA or 401k. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. There's no cost and no obligation. Just free information to help you consider your option. Take the first step with Birch Gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
So you know what I did last night? We were contemplating what I should do for dinner because I was going to be downtown getting my hair cut. And I used to go to Eureka's. Like every time I got my hair cut, I'd go in and have a drink, say hi to Claire, who wouldn't throw a pail of water on me right now if I was on fire, because we broke the story that they're closed and for good. Claire wanted to create her own narrative that they were going to come back, but let me put it this way. All the employees have other jobs right now. Thankfully. Micah is, I think, working at Forgatti's now. And if you've ever been to Eureka, you certainly know Micah. She's been there almost as long, excuse me, as the restaurant existed. But anyway, I don't even know why I brought that up. It just breaks my heart, though, that Claire and their family doesn't like me because of what I do, and that is disseminate information. And if you're a Claire Eurykio and you own one of the most iconic restaurants in this town, one of those well-known restaurants in this town, we have to tell the truth. I understand you want to create your own narrative and kind of slide out easily and boop, 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 but I can't make that call. I have to tell you the truth. And the truth is they're never opening up again. Now, wouldn't it be funny if they just say, screw it, let's just open up just to screw Ralph Bailey? But anyway, so do you know what I ended up doing food-wise?
I do not.
Lost my freaking mind, Chris.
Your mind.
Lost my freaking mind.
How so?
Well, because I'm flush right now, because I'm trying to save for Philly, which may not happen. And I'm trying to see how much I'm going to have. If I have a biopsy, I'm going to have to spend a lot of money. Or if I have to have surgery on my prostate, I'm going to spend a lot of money. So I've been really, really good about it. I can't tell you the last time I Uber ate. Uber ate. So I'm flush. So I'm walking downtown, and you got all kind of options, and they're all expensive. Zama, just everything downtown. And I see Jin Sushi, and a light bulb goes on. And I go in, and it's packed. On a Wednesday night, it was packed. And I sit down, and I said, well, because you have to order at the front desk.
Right.
At the hostess desk, right at the door. I said, well, let me sit down and have a little bottle of sake and let me figure it out. I sit down, there's a couple next to me, and I was staring at them, but not for the reasons they thought, because I didn't see the woman yet, because that would have been reason enough to stare. Because when I asked, but I was staring at their rainbow roll. That looked really good because it had salmon on it, and I think they described it as it's like a California roll with fish, something like that. So I said, "What is that?" I don't mean to be rude and interrupt you guys. And then she turned, and I was like, "Oh my god!" She was like a 10. She was literally like a 10. Anyway, they were like, "Would you like one?" I was like, "No. I've already interrupted you guys." So I ended up ordering the rainbow roll, yellowtail, salmon, and chicken fried rice. How much money did I spend?
60 bones.
$47 for one meal for one guy. I'm the one who's nutsy cuckoo.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
I'm Rob Archer. Bakersfield police are asking anyone who has pictures, video, or audio connected to last week's shooting at Independence High School to turn it over to investigators. Police say they want material taken before, during, or after the shooting. A 15-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree murder in the killing of Levi Jermaine Carter Brown during the football game. Investigators have already said the shooting was gang-related, and several other people have been arrested in what police say may have been a planned retaliation. BPD says even seemingly minor video or audio could help investigators put together what happened. The city of Bakersfield is moving ahead with buying the former Bank of America building downtown. The city council voted 4-2 to approve a $12.1 million interfund loan for the purchase. The Truxton Tower at Truxton and Chester will cost more than $13 million, with additional money needed for improvements. City officials say Bakersfield Police Investigation and Training Units are expected to move into the building early next year. All lanes of southbound Highway 99 are back open in Delano after a semi-crash caused major delays this morning. The crash shut down part of the freeway and forced traffic off the highway for a time. No continuing closures were reported after the wreck was cleared. Big Brothers Big Sisters is expanding into Kern County for the first time. The Central California organization is looking for adults willing to serve as one-on-one mentors for children between 6 and 18. It's also looking for Kern County businesses willing to support the program. Bakersfield, a lot cooler today with a high around 94. Clouds are hanging around. There is a slight chance of a light shower, mainly in the foothills and mountains. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern newsroom with news every half hour, and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention
First
Council.
Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m. On the Friday edition of the First Look program. I'm very excited about this. In fact, now that Dolly Parton has passed away, Elizabeth Cook may have moved up to my favorite person in the world status. She'll be joining us to talk about her movie and her new record. We have got news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest of the in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 27th day of August. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com. We led today with the BPD asking for your help. If you were at Independence High School last Friday night, they're obviously looking for video. If you have anything on your phone or if you were a witness to what's going on, they have made some drastic changes, subtle changes. Backpacks, situations like that. The kids can't be, because many of the kids, you know, a football game, and this is too bad, and it's another thing these urban terrorists have absolutely ruined. You know, for a lot of these kids, the football game is just a social thing. You know, what percentage of the kids at a football game, Chris Burdick, do you think actually sit down and watch the game? About half?
Not even.
I mean, it's a social event.
Yeah, and honestly, the ones that are sitting down watching the game are the band, who probably would much rather be up hanging out with their friends all running around.
Yeah. And it's mostly the parents that watch. And, you know, I did Garces games for years. And, you know, most of the kids, either Chris or I would go to the snack shack and Dude, that's like going through a parade.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Oh, it's the worst because that's where they all hang out. And it's just, excuse me, pardon me. I beg your pardon. And so now they're saying that the kids have to be in the stands. You have to be watching the game, actually. If you aren't going to the high school that is playing, they don't want you there. You have to be accompanied by a parent. And I'm sure at some point they're going to institute metal detectors. However, in this situation, this thing happened at the basketball court, which, of course, during a football game is used as a parking lot. Because remember, on Monday, we spoke with Vance Palm, the local broadcaster who does just about everything, and he was doing the Independence game that Friday night, and the shooting actually occurred very near his truck. And I told you, my friend Chris Zucchini, his sister Liz is married to Tom, is the athletic director at Centennial, and it happened near their car as well. So, yeah, metal detectors will help, and I guess if you force the kids to sit in the stands, maybe that'll, stop some of the miscellaneous activity that goes on that has nothing to do with the game. But this has got nothing to do with security at a high school. This has got nothing to do with security at a football game. This has to do with the revolving door that we have created for teenagers. If you weren't with us in the first half hour, this kid's Gabriel Torres Reyes, this kid's resume, he stole a car and led cops on a 6-hour spree. He was released. Days later, after leading cops on a car chase in a stolen car, days later, he attacked his mother. He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Now, doesn't that sound like a serious crime that deserves some sort of crime, jail time, let alone lengthy time? He did none. He attacked his mother with a deadly weapon, and our district attorney's office kicked him out with probation. He then assaulted his stepfather, because he's small potatoes compared to the woman that brought you into the world. He should have known he was next. If I'm dating your mother and you attack her, hey, baby, I got to get out of here. We need to live in separate places. I'm not messing with that child. He cray-cray. Of course he's going to go after you. Because in my opinion, if you're willing to put your hands on the woman that breastfed you, that brought you literally into this world, there's no one you're not willing to attack. And how law enforcement can't see this, and why we can't identify troubled teenagers from the get-go, and as Barney Fife used to say, nip it in the bud. But instead, they enable these kids. They give them Kevlar. They're bulletproof. You can't do anything to me. I attacked my mama, and I'm not in jail. I attacked my father. I'm not in jail. I stole cars. I'm not in jail. I broke probation, not once, but twice, and I'm not in jail. I'll do whatever I want. And if I want to stick a weapon in my waistband and go fire shots at a football game, by the way, I found this out too. And I don't know if this is bad reporting or just me not paying attention, but I found out there were 11 shots fired that night. 11. I still have you heard about this at all? I still don't know. Oh, dang. Randy's leaving early. I got my 10,000 steps. I was looking for a ride to Lawson's. I got my 11,000 steps in this morning. But Randy said he might be coming back, though, actually.
You never know. He usually does.
Because I don't think he didn't have his SC stuff with him when he got in the car, did he?
I honestly didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I think he's coming back. Yeah, I need a ride. I ain't walking Lawson's. I ain't walking. I got my 11,000 steps in. I still don't know how many times was Levi Brown shot. They reported today, Connor Dorr reported today that he was balled up in a ball when the cops came on the scene. But I have not heard anyone report how many times was this boy shot.
I'm assuming once, because again, when I watched the video,
The film where you see the flash of the muzzle.
Right. I only saw it once.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I read and saw today that they are claiming 11, I'm like,
shots.
Where were the other 10?
Well, because these kids, you think these kids are brave? You think these kids are like,
Oh, I know.
He's like, they don't have any guts.
True.
They don't have any character. They're just waving this thing around. They think it makes them look big. You think they're really like this? Like, I'm going to kill you. No. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You want some? You want some? You want some? And then boom. And then once chaos erupts, then he just fires all over the place. We're lucky that other kids weren't injured. 11 shots? Have they even identified the weapon? You heard anything about that?
Don't, because that's the other thing I was thinking. Like, I'm sitting here thinking it was a handgun. For all I know, it could be a completely different one that was.
Well, the video certainly looks like it certainly looked like a pistol.
So I thought
in the audio when that flash you see, but what are you going to do? Let me sneak back in here. I'm seeing some more stuff on the chat room. Then we'll check in on the big board. I understand about the Marie County thing. I guess his name Marie Callender thing on a date. I just didn't think you want to go too expensive. That's why I did say the other day, Hard Rock Casino, back corner booth, don't have to gamble. Well, that's still a pretty, that's not a cheap night going to the Hard Rock. I'm going to spend $60 on Uber, and even if we drove, that's not a cheap night. That's a $2 night with dinner and a couple of drinks without even gambling. Chris and I were talking about that after the show last night. That's still a $2 thing. And we mapped out how much is it on Uber. What was it on Uber?
Like $40, I
which
think.
Isn't bad. Cost me $18 to get across town and play golf this morning. So $40 to almost get to the Grapevine. That ain't bad. I would pay that. But I don't think that's an inexpensive date. About the shooting, do you think it was a good idea for the family to be wearing all red shirts on the news, brand new red shirts being a gang related? Man, for all we know, the family might be in cahoots with this gang. Because how did they knew this boy was in a gang. And now for the civil suit, because they're going to get paid. They're going to get paid. So for the civil suit, they're going to technically try to deny that they had any knowledge of his gang activity. You don't understand how ensconced these gangs get. And how, in some cases, it's intimidation. In some cases, it's love. Where the boy is bringing in money, gang money, but money. So I don't know. I'm not insinuating that the family was ensconced in the gang, but for the family to vehemently, vociferously, unanimously claim that he was not a gang member, you're lying. You're lying. That's not negligence. You can't tell me they were just lending a blind eye or they were unaware. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Or you've never met your son. It's one of the two. You've never met the boy and never had any contact in an exchange with him, or you're lying. Come on. Back to the board. Ralph, if you want to try something, also there's a place called the 19th Hole. Well, I was there today, but I had to drink iced tea because of the show. 19th Hole is the bar at any golf course, which is off Buena Vista on the southwest part of town. I hear it's supposed to be good. You know anything about this 19th Hole? No? I don't know what you're talking about. And that's not my side of town anyway. Mark writes, is the restaurant and bar that I thought I'd tell you about that? Or there could be the 1800, the restaurant 1800 off Chester. That is a pretty cool place. That is a pretty cool place.
That is.
You know who loved that? And the only time I've ever been there, 2 times that I've been there.
The how old is she?
The 31-year-old.
31-year-old,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. She loved those all those sweets and the milkshakes and all that nonsense. We be there twice. Once we went there to eat, and I was like, negative, let's get out of here. And we had a drink or something and left. And then once we went to Eureka's and came back and just had like dessert. She had one of those big foo-foo drinks, and I can't remember what I had, but I miss the 31-year-old. Although, you know the good news. Did I tell you the good news about the 31-year-old? She got married, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
She married a Latino,
mm-hmm.
which I knew. That's why I knew, first of all, we were doomed. But did I tell you the good news? As an ex,
mm-hmm.
She's big as a house. Big as a house. I mean, because she was, me. You never met her. Oh, that was years ago. You never met her. But she was about, she was a Bailey prototype. She was about 5'8", 5'9", and I bet she was about $160, $165. She wasn't fat, but she was a big, thick girl. Well, she about $2 billion now. She about 210, 215. Tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Take over for Travis. Or you have Outback Steakhouse or Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse. I don't like chains. I do like Lori Hart's Outback Steakhouse. I just don't like chains. You know what I'm saying? If you got to use jiggers, and I did say jigger, if you got to use jiggers in the bar, and those corporate chains do use jiggers, I'm not drinking a 2-ounce cocktail. You know what I'm saying? Why? I could, down a 2-ounce cocktail in one sip. I ain't doing it. And yes, my alcoholic ass depends on the bar to where I go to restaurants. GJ writes, 3-year-old usually has no idea of death or permanent. However, they survive by being aware of their parents' behavior, emotions, would have definitely known mommy was dangerous at the time. Yeah, he's alluding to the fact that we talked about earlier that I found out. I don't know if this is true. Well, I guess I do because I said it on the air. I heard it on television that one of the children ran. Because she started with the 5-year-old, right? And then the 3-year-old ran. And she chased him down. This thing could go either way. The prosecution's closing arguments today, where they were talking about some of the things that she did and cited that those are rational thoughts. Pretty damning. It's going to be fascinating to see what they figure out. And again, remember, if she's institutionalized, it's up to the institution to determine her sentence. They could kick her in a year, 3 years, 5 years, or they could hold her, like they're going to in prison for the rest of her life. But that's not mandated. They could literally kick her out 2 weeks after. And what do all prisoners do? What do all people do? Except for Sean Diddy Combs, because he's a freaking idiot. But what do they do when they go to prison and get locked up, Chris? What's the most important thing they do?
Stay out of trouble.
Exactly, behave. So you're telling me that if this woman goes to institutionalization and she behaves, which they all do, that she could get kicked out in a year, 3, 5? No. Got to go to prison. I've changed my whole line on that because I found that out. She's got to go to prison. She cannot be in society. I think she's nuts for cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think she deserves to be in an institution, but only if she's going to be in that institution for the rest of her life. She can never come in contact with children. She should never have another mate. She should be locked away somewhere. And if they're not going to do that, then we got to throw her in the who's gal. 3-year-olds, I read that one. Anthony Leary says, take her to the new Vault restaurant, V-A-L-T restaurant.
V-A-U-L-T. It's called the Vault.
Well, he said Vault. Restaurant, high class steak and Italian food. Where's the Vault?
Let me look it up. This is the one I told you about after the show that he was telling me about. I've met the owner once. Nice guy.
Yeah.
I've heard good things, but he is right. It is kind of pricey.
What side of town is it?
I think it's on Southwest. I think it's off Ming, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a sec.
That's kind of near where the girl lives. Cassie Leslie writes, 11 shots means there are 2 guns, most likely. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, the Vault is
You
the
can-
old Chase on Ming.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, you can have a magazine of up to 15 bullets. In fact, my Glock 23, I think I've got about 12 or 13 bullets in my clip. In fact, I don't know why I said that. I know I do. I have like a dozen bullets in one of my clips. And my other clip, I think I have more than that. My friend Chris Zucchini helped me. Do you have problems putting the bullets in your clip?
Not really.
I do for some reason. When I get to the top, I'm just trying to match.
Oh, when you get to the top? Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's supposed to be that way.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant like just the beginning part of it. It's pretty easy.
No,
to get.
after you
Once
got
it
like
gets
9 or
full,
10, and it's like shoving them in. And
yeah, then at the end, it does get pretty.
Yeah. Josh writes, have you seen the interview of Gregory Bovino with Tucker Carlson? Gregory Bovino being the disastrous head of ICE Customs during the shootings with Nay and Alex, and they caught him on tape saying some stupid thing. He was a moron. He's a moron. I don't know. I'm not a Tucker Carlson fan. I'm certainly not a Greg Bovino fan. But I'd appreciate it if you texted us and tell us how it went. I'd be interested, actually. And final, another 2 more. D-Boy writes, Lino's inside the poorhouse. Lino's inside the poorhouse? And finally,
Lino's, isn't that what we were talking about the other day?
yeah, I thought that was, but that's not got nothing to do with the poorhouse. And he also writes, awesome food and drinks at a great price. Let's take a break. I'm not so concerned with the price, guys. I'm flush these days. I just spent $50 on my dinner last night for 4 pieces of fish, 6 pieces of a roll, and chicken fried rice, which was pretty tasty, actually. Not as good, to be honest with you. Their fish is better than bentos. Their fish is fresher than bentos. Their fish melts in your mouth. It's really fresh. But their chicken fried rice, not as good as bento sushi. Bento sushi has vegetables in their fried rice, like broccoli, and I love their fried rice. Quick timeout. We don't have a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour, but at the bottom of the hour, we'll check the board, read some text messages. I've got some sporting stories to tell you about. Will Smith put on a show in Oklahoma City as he gets prepared to return on September 1, hit a home run and threw out a runner stealing second base. That's very, very good because the Dodger catchers haven't thrown out a runner since Will Smith went down. And I don't think we really appreciate how important Will Smith is in that lineup and to the pitchers. Because our backup catchers, we are the single worst team at appealing balls and strikes. It is nutsy cuckoo. And they do it all before the 5th inning. So come 7, 8, 9 innings, the Dodgers are out of appeals. And guys are throwing the ball all over the place. There's strike. And the guy's like, oh, I can't appeal. So stupid. Quick timeout. Coming right back. It's TRBS on a Thursday. Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230. Streaming live at currentradio.com.
Casey?
AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Studies report 77.6% of croplands area experience a positive greenness anomaly in 2025. For a world continually told that it is teetering on the edge of ecological catastrophe, a record green planet seems to be something worth mentioning. Plants apparently missed the memo that carbon dioxide is supposed to be an environmental villain.
Weekdays 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Let's be honest, guys. I appreciate all the input on where I should go to dinner this weekend, but we all know where I'm going to end up. 200 yards from my front door on F Street at KC Steakhouse. And here's my logic. Casey's Steakhouse is probably the only restaurant where you can go to where you can have 2 dates in one night. Let me explain. You start in the main restaurant. You have cocktails at the bar. You hang out with Liz or all the other ladies, lovely waitresses. Then you sit down and you have a very nice dinner. And then you get up, you pay the bill, and you go right next door to the Stockyard and hang out with Haley and have some of the craft cocktails that they have, or enjoy the live music that Lottie provides on Saturday nights. That's 2 dates in one, and they're right next door. Where would you rather be, on a date night or just getting out of the heat or just looking to have a great steak? It's KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us. No one can touch us. You won't find better prices.
You got me. You're going to have like 30 seconds when we get back.
Look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus is proud to support Runners basketball. One lucky fan will join the red carpet shootout for a
Actually, now I think about it, do you want more? Because we don't have to go to the news. We got our local, but we don't have our national. Okay.
custom area rugs, and of course, carpet. Carpet Outlet Plus, Bakersfield's best flooring store for over 20 years in a row. 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And wasting all my time. Well, we've wasted all the time in the first half hour, the final hour of the broadcast. We head into the back. I would hang around if I you. It's TRBS News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. A trial date has been set for the man accused of abducting a 10-year-old girl from Taft after meeting her through Roblox. Matthew Naval is scheduled to go on trial in October. He faces kidnapping and child sex charges. Authorities say the girl disappeared from Taft in April of last year and was found with Naval the next Sacramento County. Big Brothers Big Sisters is expanding into Kern County for the first time. The organization is looking for adults willing to serve as one-on-one mentors for kids between 6 and 18, along with businesses willing to support the program. Bakersfield gets a break from the triple-digit heat today. The forecast high is around 94 with clouds and a slight chance of a light shower. Tomorrow warms back up into the upper 90s. I'm Bob Archer in the Kern newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
You might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Did you know termites can silently feast on your home for 3 to 4 years before you see any damage? They can literally eat a bedroom wall in less than 2 years, causing major structural damage to your biggest investment. Don't wait for the evidence to appear. Ryan's Termite is running an early bird special. If you know or even suspect that you have termites, get on Ryan's schedule now for an additional 10% off our already lowest price. All work is guaranteed. There's no money down and no contracts. Plus, in most cases, you won't even have to move or tent your house. Protect your home and save. Call Ryan's today. That's Ryan'sTermiteControl.com.
Medicare eligible and seeking a caring doctor? QualCare IPA partners with most Medicare Advantage plans, offering top doctors and hospitals in Kern County. Medicare Advantage beats original Medicare, but it is confusing. So call QualCare IPA at 800-940-5520 for help. That's 800-940-5520. Special needs? Call 661-554-4544. TTY 711.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Cam Newton, he claims that there were players, coaches, and execs that told people that they got the COVID shot, but they really didn't. And he was defending Aaron Rodgers over his recent statements on ESPN. What Cam Newton is saying is that he has a right to be upset just because he didn't get this COVID shot, because there are those people who didn't get the shot either.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
I'm 0-2. I battled John Tempero, the pretty boy quarterback, not for the beautiful black girl that he was dating when we were at Buckley, because he sewed that up before I even got a chance. But when we moved to Brentwood together, we both went to Brentwood, left Buckley when we were in our 10th grade. There was an English girl. She was Emily, I forget what Emily's last name is, but she's the daughter of Julie Andrews, Emily Walton. Emily Walton's her name. And in fact, the movie that Andrews did with Jack Lemmon, where they're married, and Jack Lemmon is having this midlife crisis, Emily plays her daughter in the film. Again, her name is Emily Walton. But anyway, and in high school, she wasn't very attractive, although she ended up being a very attractive adult. You know, that happens sometimes. She was a little heavy, and, you know, when you're 16, 17, you don't really like thick girls. You know, as I got older, I started liking girls. Anyway, I can't even remember the girl's name, her cousin. She was English, and she was one of these girls, you know how some girls aren't really like beautiful, but it's just the way they carry themselves. And she was just really feminine. And one weekend she went out with Tempero, and the next weekend she went out with me. And Tempero and I were like laughing and giving each other crap on the baseball field and talking crap, like, I'm going to win her and I'm going to win her. And the shortstop quarterback won. And the other time, what was the other time that in college with Mark Flores, no relation to JR. And I didn't know this our sophomore year, but Mark Flores would end up being, in my estimation, the coolest player I'd ever met in my life. I never saw him miss. I didn't know that when we were in sophomores and trying to chase after Rhoda McKinney. who was a beautiful woman who didn't marry Mark, which was a mistake because he ended up being an anesthesiologist. But she lived up in Seattle. In fact, she's Wade McKinney, one of my ex-roommates' cousin. Beautiful, dark-skinned, 5'9" black woman who I think is a lawyer up in Seattle. And I said, Mark, I asked her out. I know you went out with her, but I asked her out. She said yes. And he said, well, bring it on, Bailey. You think you can out-Mac me? That's how we used to talk in the 80s. You really think you can out-Mac me? And I said, yes, I do. And Flores was a pretty boy. His mother was black. His father was Cuban. So he had that olive complexion. He had the wavy hair. And he was just one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not that charming. I'm entertaining. And I can make a girl laugh. That's my go-to. I can make a girl laugh. But just there's certain guys, you can call me gay if you want, but there's certain guys, when they walk into a room, people kind of turn and look and pay attention. And Flores just had that swag. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, how close were you to the guy?
We're very close.
Very close? Okay.
That's what made it cool, though.
I was going to
say,
like,
if you're not close, that's when it becomes animosity because you don't really know each other that well. And like, what is he trying to do? Like, get in my way? No, we looked at it as a competition.
Right.
He's like, you think that's exactly what it said. He looked at me, I was in his room, because his brother, I was good friends with as well, Frank, who's a pediatrician in Long Island. That's where they're from. And he said, you think you're going to out-Mac me? And I swear to God, I went like this. I went, yes, I do. And walked out the room. And of course, he ended up dating Rhoda McKinney.
It'd be a different situation, especially if he was a player, if you didn't tell him, because I guarantee you he stepped up his game to a whole different level the minute you told him, to a level that you could never have touched.
You have touched an area in which you are an expert in, Mr. Burdick, because 3 days later, he comes back to me and he goes, you talked to Rhoda? I go, not recently. We went out Saturday. It's freaking Wednesday. She didn't tell you what she did yesterday?
Oh, no.
What'd you do, Flores? Well, Ralph, I showed you Macability. I took her to Piedmont Park. I had food brought to us in the park on a red checkered. I said, no, you didn't pick out the red checker. You are so corny. And he said, you damn right I'm corny.
And they love it.
And that's exactly what it is. And girls love corn.
Yes, they do.
That's why you just don't have my knowledge, Bailey. You can't out-Mac me, brother. Seriously, Ralph. You thought you were going to out-Mac me? And I'm like, you know what, Mark? You win. Because I'd have never thought. He had the food. And this is 1982. When people didn't deliver food into a damn park. To this day, I still don't know how the hell he got it delivered. On the red and white thing. And
what favor did he call in to get this done?
I don't know. But Flores, he reminds me of Ragon. Ragon's one of those guys. Just charming, talk the birds out of the trees. He was just one of those guys. Just one of those guys. Love that kid. And what sucks, I taught him how to play. Well, I didn't teach him, but I introduced golf to him. He's a 9. Because he's a doctor, and he can play anytime he wants, and he can play anywhere. And he's 64 years old. He's a 9 handicap. And I'm coming in here like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like Quasimodo, after my 89. And if he played today, he probably shot 80. And he's my age. Son of a gun. Good guy, though. Really good guy. Really, really good guy. Taught me a lot. He was the guy that gave me the Hall of Fame speech. He said, Ralph, why are you fretting about these girls at Spelman? I go, because I can't get one. And he said, you need to relax and be able to accept defeat. I said, what's that supposed to mean? That girl just put her hands on my chest and was like, no, 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 no. So what? So what? I went to kiss a girl and she put her hands on my chest. So that's 1 of 7. What are you talking about? If you're a baseball player and you want to get into the big leagues, what do you have to hit as an average? I said, well, for a career, if you hit 300, you're going to get into the Hall of Fame. Exactly. And what do you have to do to hit 300? Mark, would you just get to the point, you damn bio major? You got to be successful 3 out of 10 times, which means you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times. If you just took that approach with girls and realized out of 10 women, 7 of them are going to slap my face, but 3 of them are going to go home with me, you'd be a Hall of Famer like me. And I was like, you know, good piece of crap. But I took it to heart. And that's when I went crazy. That's when I lost my mind. My sophomore year, I started dating Rhonda Killens, beautiful young girl from Silver Spring, Maryland. Ended up being Claire Huxtable. I saved her from poverty, and she married a lawyer, or she was a lawyer, and she married a gynecologist. Didn't work. I heard she remarried. But anyway, and then I lost my mind. One of her friends started flirting with me, and I hooked up with her, and that's when I lost my mind. Like, there was an intrigue. She was a decent-looking girl, but not a girl that I should have cheated on Rhonda with, because Rhonda was much better looking. But just the fact that it was Rhonda's friend added, for a guy who had only been with one woman his whole life by my sophomore year, it added like some drama. I don't know. I think there was a period in my life where I kind of dug drama and just the sneaking around. They lived in the same damn dorm. I was sleeping with 2 girls. I was dating 2 girls that lived in the same damn dorm. And just the whole, I don't know. It was fun. Oh, youth is fun. Let's read a couple of text messages and get to the final break.
Ralph, first date, pie and coffee. Married 26 years later. Just saying.
This isn't a first date. I know this woman.
I think they're more saying, like, don't sleep on the pie and coffee date.
Yeah, but it's not a first date. Yeah, that is a good date. That's a good way to be, friendly, and I'm too old for that. My first date is normally, let's go have cocktails. Let's break the ice. Let's get our inhibitions down and really chit chat. And then dinner. And then I try to do different fun things. But this isn't a date. This is a really good friend who I would love to be more than a friend, but she's not on board, to be honest with you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But she's a great girl. We're just really, really, really good friends. What else you got?
I think they know or understand what it's a very bad thing. I think it's when it's a very bad thing.
I think talking about the 3-year-old that ran. Yeah. I mean, human instinct, even at like 1 or 2, I think human instinct kicks in and something ain't right. Do they truly comprehend what's happening? I doubt it. But at 3, I mean, you're talking at 3. You're walking and talking at 3 years old. I remember I taught my sister to walk when she was 2, and I know she was talking at 2. So I think they're more aware than you all are giving them credit. Or why did she run? It's mom. If she was completely unaware of the danger, why did the 3-year-old run? And I just found that out. It's horrible. What else? One more. Let's take our final break.
Ralph, I'm being very sincere with this comment. You have a B talk show and you're getting in your panties in a wad over the B and C grade issue. I think this is the person that was texting in earlier.
I have a B talk show. Well, I'll take a B. I think it's an A-, but that's a B. It's above average. My numbers certainly don't indicate that, and my advertising revenue, money that I make for this company, certainly would not categorize it as simply above average. And that's my job. My job is not to get ratings or even get you to listen to this show. It is to get advertisers to spend money with this company. And you can't do that if nobody's listening to the show, because why would an advertiser want to advertise on a radio station that nobody's listening to, or a show that no one is listening to? And I have a very large number of advertisers that are spending a good deal of money with this radio station, so I'm in good stead. But I'll take the compliment that it's a B, and I don't know, I didn't understand the other part. Read the other part of what he said.
I had actually gotten away with it, but he was saying that you were getting your panties in a wad over having a B or grade rating. They were being sincere about it.
I don't understand that at all. Yeah.
I think they're just saying that you're getting upset over them calling you a B or whatever.
Who called me a B? He's the first one to call me a B.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think this is the same person that texted early in the show that was saying rude stuff about the show. You don't remember from the very beginning, the first segment?
What did he say?
Can't remember the exact text message, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't keep it up there, but
yeah, I don't remember either. I do remember the guy kind of bagging on the show, and I asked him, "Why are you listening?" And
yeah, exactly. I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, okay. We don't have time for this nonsense.
It is.
Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. Tomorrow's a Friday. You know, we got college football this weekend. Have you heard from the Lang Corporation?
You know, I haven't. Let me reach out to his guy.
Yeah, we got some nice college games this Saturday.
Usually I've heard from him by now.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up.
And we're just a couple of weeks away from the National Football League. But Rick Bentley will be here. And, you know, I saw 3 different Karnaks last night. And I might cherry pick some of the better ones because there were some that I could morph into Kern County and kind of make them local. And I could have lied and taken credit, but I'm telling you, I cherry picked them from 3 different Karnak performances. And I might write them up and put them in an envelope and let Mr. Bentley play Ed McMahon because they are hilarious. You want to give me one? You want to give you one real quick that I might use? Ben Gay. Ben Gay. Why didn't Benjamin Franklin and his wife have kids? Ben Gay. All right, they all can't be home runs. Get over yourselves. I thought that was funny. Not quite as funny as Why the Chicken Crossed the Road. That's my go-to now. I had my nephew in stitches with that one. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because! I love
Flores could just... God, the dad jokes between the two of you were incredible.
Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, and we're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
There was a hit and run at 3.
Can still touch my toes. God, I was so lazy I didn't even put up the fucking... See what happens when I get out of my routine? The whole day changes. The whole freaking day changes. Didn't send you the rundown. Just the whole, I'm a routine guy. I got to do the same thing every freaking day. And if I don't do it, then the day's going to be different. What did we do? Should I talk about Gilbert or Gabriel, whatever the hell his name is? Or I could piss him off and tell him I think Trump's crazy. 3, 2, what I don't understand is how law enforcement, district attorneys, or judges don't see a career criminal in the works. When a 15-year-old attacks his mother and his stepfather, Can't you see the writing on the wall? And we have to nip this in the bud and start treating gang member urban terrorists like adults. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, we'll preview college football kicking off this weekend, plus Rick Bentley, KGE entertainment reporter, and whatever else happens, including perhaps the ending of the Clancy murder trial. All of that, plus me at 3. It's TRBS right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. I'll see you at 3.
And I think I just saw that the Tupac case closed.
Pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains. Rolate spells powerful relief.
1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
In Kern County, valley fever affects more than 3,000 people each year. But together, we can change that. Join Kern County Public Health as a valley fever ambassador. You don't need medical experience, just a willingness to help your community stay informed. Neighbors sharing with neighbors. Coworkers looking out for each other. Be part of the solution by signing up for a 30-minute virtual training. Visit kernpublichealth.com to learn more.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERS.
Starting to get a second win. I can make that walk down to Lawson's. Did Randy come back though? He didn't come back.
Not that I saw. He was actually looking for you right after you left to go to the summit too. He's gonna give you a ride.
Oh, in this afternoon?
Yeah. He came out like 5 minutes after you had left. So.
Oh damn. And I was probably still here because I went and talked to Katie before I went there. But that's all right. I had to get some water and some Gatorade and a corn dog that I took 2 bites of and threw away. It was nasty as hell. I'm used to Joe Winter Schnitzel corn dogs, which are really, really choice. I'm a big corn dog guy. And Derwiener Schnitzel's corn dogs are sweet. The thing they put in the cornmeal is sweet. And gas stations, not so much. Not so much. Let's read a couple of text messages and get the Sam Hill out of here. Gonna watch the 3rd game of the series we're about to get swept in, apparently.
And we also have Raider football coming on right after the show too.
Oh, is that right?
We
Outstanding.
do. 3rd preseason game. It's already in effect, but we'll be catching it in action as soon as we're out of here.
Is Mr. Mendoza starting?
I'm not sure. I didn't check.
Because I'm sure Kirk Cousins isn't playing.
Wouldn't think so.
Maybe a series or 2. I don't know. What do you got?
Ralph, don't forget, it's the juvenile court judge who followed the recommendation of probation officer to give the 15-year-old probation after assaulting his mother and stepfather.
Everybody involved is culpable. Probation, the judges, the prosecutors. I blame them all. How can a grown-ass adult see a child attack the person that brought him into this world and think that he's going to have fear of hurting anybody else? You see what I'm saying? In other words, let me put it more articulately. If you're willing to hurt the woman that brought you into this world, there's nobody on your list that you're not willing to hurt, including the Pope, the president, your principal, your teachers, some idiot that's in a supposed rival gang. You have no respect for human life if you're willing to put your hands on your mother. That's even beyond putting your hands on your wife. This is the woman that nurtured you, that fed you, that put clothes on your back and I don't know, just brought you into this world. And if you have the audacity to hurt that woman, you are worthless. Worthless. And yet they didn't see this coming, that this kid would reoffend and reoffend and reoffend. And guess what? In 4, 5, 6, 7 years, we're going to have to deal with him all over again. He'll be a pariah in this community because he will be a smarter, wiser, cannier, savvier criminal from hanging out with a bunch of juvenile criminals in juvenile hall. There's no rehabilitation in prison. There's no rehabilitation in juvenile hall. They just get stronger, they get wiser, they get more bitter, they get more angry, and they come out. What the hell do you think they're going to do? Work at McDonald's? Start a trade? No. They're going to go back and do what they used to do. They're just better at it now because they've talked to fellow criminals. Good googly moogly. What else?
It's Lassens, Ralph. Dang it, not Lawsons.
Stop with the Lassens, Lawsons, Loosens.
Y'all realize that's why he calls it Lawsons, right?
Just a buggy. By the way, did I tell you guys, I met Paul Mooney's son, one of the twin sons that Paul Mooney had. Paul Mooney, and again, this is black culture versus white culture, is one of the great black comedians of all time. He was Richard Pryor's best friend. Some of you older white folks may remember him from the Buddy Holly story. He played Sam Cooke in the film, but he's best known for being Richard Pryor's best friend, and he's best known for doing black comedy, where he bags on white people and bags on black people as well. That's what makes him so funny. Oh, don't start laughing, black people, because I'm going to get y'all next. I mean, he was a great comic, and he had a pair of twins who I met in Los Angeles, and I ran into him at Lassens, and we're going to have them on the show. They're both comedians, or they were, and it was just crazy. And he came up to me. He's a listener of the show. So shout out to the Mooney brothers. Really good guys. And their dad is one of the greatest comics of all time and one of the most underrated because his humor was so racially oriented that white folks, even of that era, didn't want nothing to do with him. He was Richard Pryor on steroids. At least Pryor told stories about events and included race. But Paul Mooney was all race. It was all race. And he would talk crap about black folks, white folks, but it was all kind of racially based. And it kind of turned white people off. Black folks loved it. I mean, he's a legend in the black community. I can't think of another movie that he did. But he was on the Richard Pryor show, which I'm sure many of you didn't watch when it was on. And he was on Dave Chappelle. He was a regular on Dave Chappelle. In fact, he was Negro Damas. Do you remember that character? Negro Damas. That was Paul Mooney. I got to get out of here and thank Mike Termsey, Daniel Petrey, and Chris Burdick. I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I'll wrap you tomorrow.
Current Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Sebastian Fernando in the shotgun on a 2nd and 8. Fernando looking left, inside handoff, over to the right side, a short gain. Ogun Buwale on the play. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Raiders football. Raiders lead 6-3. It'll be a 3rd and 5 on the Raiders 19. Fernando is in the shotgun. Dylan Lobby is right off to his right side here. Ian Thomas is in motion. Fernando looking. He's got time, plenty of time. He'll dump it over the middle. So Lobby makes the man miss. And Lobby gets upfield and picks up a first down. Big first down for every Raiders first down at Allegiant Stadium this year. America First Credit.